Fam 305. Yes, we live. The Fam 305. Take a ride. The Fam 305. Yes, all night. The Fam 305. Let's get right. The Fam 305. Sit back and take a ride. The Fam 305. Let Guru pick your mind. The Fam 305. Mama G ready all the time. The Fam 305. K-Dub sniping on the right. The Fam 305. Dre talking ish all night. The Fam 305. Like, share, and subscribe. The Fam 305. The Fam 305. The Fam 305. Like, share, and subscribe. Hey, no pa tanto. No pa tanto. Hey, no pa tanto. Hey, no pa tanto. No pa tanto. No pa tanto. No pa tanto.
There you go.
All right, y'all. Here's your host for tonight for the Fam 305 podcast.
Yeah, that's horrible when people don't come. That's the worst. No pa tanto.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Guru here with another mini episode, sports episode with Guru. This time we're going to talk all Dolphins. We're going to talk about the Dolphins and the Cowboys and the Dolphins' thrilling 22-20 win here at Hard Rock on Christmas Eve. All right, so let's go back a little bit. So again, this was a big game. The Cowboys were 10-4, came off a big loss in Buffalo. A lot of issues with the Cowboys. So you were expecting them to come hungry. Dolphins coming off a win, big win against the Jets. Again, they want to keep that lead up against Buffalo. And part of that was just take care of business at home. All right, the next 2 out of 3 are at home. This was their second to last game at home. Get the win, and let's see what happens. So the Dolphins, again, they played a very good game. Dallas has a very good defense. It was back and forth, and at the end, the Dolphins did pull it out. A couple things you need to understand about this game if you hadn't watched it. There was a lot of field goals. The Dolphins moved the ball, but they couldn't really score touchdowns. They kicked a lot of field goals. Sanders, I think, kicked 4 field goals, if I'm not mistaken. But it was one of those games where they would get to the – it would get there. They would get to the red zone and would not score touchdowns. They kick a lot of field goals. So watching the game, I was always saying to myself, man, this might bite them in the ass just because of those points. You want to get 7, you don't want to get 3. And at the end of the day, it ended up coming down to where they got the ball back, like 3 minutes left. And, it was like, hey, if they score, either a field goal, touchdown, they're in good shape. But, they ended up going down the field, basically whittling the clock down, didn't give Dallas any time left, and kicked the game-winning field goal. And they won the game. So, again, it was against a winning team. Tua did what he had to do. Had almost 300 yards, touchdown, no interceptions, which is a big deal. The running game was pretty decent. I believe they ended up with over 100 yards rushing. Actually, net yards, it's actually last 91. 3.5 yards a carry. Not bad. Not what they're used to. Time of possession was pretty close. 31 to 28 minutes. So, the Dolphins beat a team with a winning record. And that's what you want to take away from this. Now, a lot of people online are talking smack, saying the Dolphins didn't really beat. They're like a fake 10-4 team. I'm sorry, you win 10 games, done something right. Plus, they're playing in a division, or historically has been a pretty good division. But at the end of the day, they beat a winning team. They beat the Dallas Cowboys, which was 10-4. So congrats to the Dolphins, and now they move on, playing a very, very good team in the Baltimore Ravens. So when we come back, when we return, we're going to kind of look ahead and see the next two games, and specifically the Baltimore Ravens. Be right back. All right, we're back. So the Dolphins, with that win in Dallas, have clinched the playoff spot. So they could be as high as a number 1 seed, home field throughout, and they could be as low as a 6. They will not end up a 7 seed. More than likely, they're going to host a playoff game. Now, going into this recording, the Baltimore Ravens did beat the 49ers. So one of the scenarios that was being thrown around was if the Chiefs lost, which they did lose on Christmas Day against the Raiders, and they're struggling. Baltimore lost to the 49ers, which was entirely possible. And the Dolphins were to win next week against Baltimore, they would have the number 1 seed throughout. That was in play. But Baltimore took care of business, and the 49ers went out to San Francisco and basically put them down. So here we are, sets up huge game next week where the winner of that game is basically in the driver's seat for the number 1 seed. Now, the Dolphins cannot get the number 1 seed if they lose next week. But they can still win the division, the AFC East. So they went out, they get the number 1 seed. They lose next week, they'll end up anywhere from 2 to 6. And again, if they split. Now, if they lose both games, they're still in the playoffs. But again, Buffalo then takes the AFC East. So, again, looking ahead at these next couple games, you're talking about Baltimore. They are at 11-4, I believe. Oh, but no, pardon me. 11-4. 12-3, they just won, so they got 12 wins. They more than likely have wrapped up the AFC North, although Cleveland's making a hard charge. And they are playing for a number 1 seed. Dolphins, 11-4. They're in the postseason. Again, they're playing for their division title. They have a 2-game lead over the Buffalo Bills. So coming into this game, Baltimore has a very good defense. Okay, very hard hitting, and Baltimore always plays a hard, rough style of football. Okay, they're almost like a throwback. So I expect this game to be very, very hard on the Dolphins as far as the rough style of play. The Dolphins are not the type of team, but their defense is playing so good right now. I really feel like they have a good shot of winning this game. Now, did I feel better? Did I feel better about this upcoming game than the Dallas game? No, I can tell you probably I felt like they had a better chance against Dallas because Dallas struggles. So now they're going to Baltimore, and Baltimore knows what they have to do, and Harbaugh is a hell of a coach. So looking at this team, I really feel like it's going to be a tough game. There's no way around it. We're going to have to be on our A game. Can't turn the ball over. A lot of things we have to do to ensure victory. And again, being realistic, I think they have a good shot. But at the end of the day, it's in Baltimore. You know, when you're playing a team like that, and they had our number in the past. Although last year, you guys remember, those of you that are Dolphin fans, we came back against them. Okay, we were down big going into the fourth, and we came back and actually won. So I don't think that's going to be the game tomorrow. I think it's going to be close to the vest. But our defense is definitely going to neutralize what they're trying to do. But their defense has to be dealt with. And again, I always say you can run the ball, you can play against most defenses just because you negate the pass rush. The more you run, keep them off tilter, force them to play the defense a little different. So that's where I think it's going to come down to, once again, the running game. And of course, we have our guys, although there's some guys that are nicked up, Mostert's dinged up, a couple linemen. Baltimore, I mean, they've been in and out, their running backs. But of course, their number one running back is actually their quarterback, Lamar Jackson. So I expect a great game. It'll be a close game. Again, I want the Dolphins to win. I hope they win. But it's one of those where it's like, oof, it'll be tough. And then they'll finish up the season at home against Buffalo, which it'll probably end up being a primetime game because I have a feeling that's going to be, they'll be playing for the AFC East. So, fins up. Dolphins win. They beat Dallas 22-20 onward to Baltimore next week. And let's see what happens. All right. So thanks for listening. This is Guru with your mini sports update. Miami Dolphins episode going into week 17. And again, those of you, thanks for listening. You know where to find me. I'm on X, formerly Twitter, Guru_305. Also, we are on podcast on all your major platforms, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon podcast, you name it. Just do a Google search or find us. All right. Thanks for listening to the Fam 305, and we'll catch you on the flip side. And happy holidays and happy New Year, which we are now right in that season between Christmas and New Year's. So got a little mini holidays, but I wish you and yours the best holiday season and a happy New Year. That's Guru. See you later. Peace.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at the Fam 305.